capital has OFW Health. It's a Facebook page that has a town hall every week. So doon po sila talaga pumasok. Meron din po meron din po siyang messenger service. So kung hindi po nila makontak yung mga ambahada or consulate, they can go directly to us and we will contact the consulates and the embassies for them. Kailangan lang po talaga sila magtiwala. Yung Qatar po, there's already a schedule next weekend or this weekend. I will just have to, I'll give you the date, Your Honor, in a while. Baka magkamali kasi ako. Tapos after this weekend, there's another chartered flight na PAL po.
From Qatar?
Qatar. Yun po
Opo.
talaga medyo nalulungkot po kami na ayaw nilang papasukin yung commercial flights natin na PAL.
Oo nga po.
Pero wala po tayong magawa. So we just have to charter the flights.
Mr. Chair, paglilinaw lang po. Kasama po ba sa nababanggit ni Yusek Sara yung may mga visit visa?
Yes, Sir Honor. Actually, lahat po. We are following the marching orders of the President that any Filipino who wants to come home should be brought home. So, inaano lang po natin. Kaya lang, nakikiusap lang po kami sa mga kababayan natin na meron po talagang listahan. Wag po naman sana nating isipin na pwede tayong mag-jump. Kasi, di ba? Tsaka po sana, nangyari po sa amin sa first repatriation namin sa Qatar, may 34 po na nag-no-show. So, that's medyo mabigat po yun kasi hindi po napalitan ng tao.
Yung magastos,
So,
opo.
so malaking pera po nawala sa atin. So, sana
Yusek,
po,
if we can request you, bigay niyo po sa amin yung announcement bulletin kung saan.
yes, sir.
Ibibigay ko po sa lahat ng kasama natin sa Kongreso
Yes,
dahil
sir.
sa kanilang lugar, mayroon pong OFW.
Yes, sir.
Para pwede po nilang maipost doon, malaman ng mga pamilya, at least lahat po ng pwedeng communication maibigay natin sa kanila para alam nila yung proseso. I think pagklaro naman sa kanila kung kailan at kung gaano katagal sila maghihintay at anong flight ang kanilang babantayan, sa tingin ko, makakalma lahat. No? Kahit nasabihin na 2 weeks from now, makakalipad sila, okay na ho yun. Basta klaro sa kanila in 2 weeks, ganitong oras, itong flight ko, ay magagawa po yun. So kung pwede lang ho, even with your staff, if
Yes,
you can
Your
give it to us, para ipapa-disseminate ko naman po sa mga kasama natin sa Kongreso, maipaalam nila sa mga pamilya nila.
Yes, Sir Honor. And we just would like to reassure the ones in UAE that every day po may pumapasok na eroplano from the United Arab Emirates because there are 53 flights.
Opo.
Opo. Salamat.
Mr. Chair, meron po bang maibibigay yung DFA, DOLE o OWA na isang bulletin board o kaya isang
Contact numbers.
banner na nandun po lahat ng contact number pati po pwedeng mga gawin step by step ng ating mga kababayan OFW, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Your Honor, will comply, Your Honor. And we'll also be furnishing Congress the arriving flights per day. Kasi
Yan
yes,
po,
sir.
opo.
We have something that's internal but we'll fix it in such a way that Congress also knows because so that just in case you have your constituents who are arriving also.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Sara, and to the DFA, of course, DOLE, for also coordinating with you on all this. Gusto ko lang basahin na, Yusek Sara, no, itong mga sumulat sa atin, yung mga PAL flights, Ian Cadawas, Denar Tabahunda, John Michael Combong, Cheryl Embile. Ito po'y galing lahat sa Doha. Sa Qatar flights po nila, Diane Pulido, Arlene Pasis Miguel, at muli naman po sa PAL, Romel Crisol, Maria Ann Sarabia. Sa Gulf Air po, Janice Reyes. Cebu Pacific Flight, kay Catherine Baslag, John Emmanuel Flores, Paula Sigilon, Charlene Villar, Cebu Pacific po to, George Dacobor. Gulf Air, Mildred Basilio. Sa PAL po, si May Madarce. Qatar Airways, Mario Santos. Ito, isang pamilya. Amber Lea Santos and Mayumi Santos. One child po to. Tapos Edralyn Kasidsid sa PAL, lahat po to Doha. Sa Kuwait, meron pong flight from Gulf Air, Dexter Yabut. Sa PAL po, Adrian Cadawas. Sa Emirates, Alexander Pampolino. Sa PAL, Aneli Madarug Palgan, Gilbert Akut. Oman Air, Vicente Bacaya. And sa PAL again, si Kimberly Arieta, Seiji Ramos, Jeneline Francisco, Oman Air. Wency Reynoso, Oman Air. Maria Catherine de Luma, Oman Air. At mula din po sa PAL, Michael Sevilla, Aristotel Amistad, Rafael Martinez, Roberto Rivera, Eden Joy Rogadio. Mula po sa PAL pa rin, Maria Dizon, and Brenda Tayaw. Kaya ko po kinukuha to, Yusek, kasi para lang humalinaw sa ating mga kababayan, at least kung makita din nila yung announcements ninyo, ma-post din namin, medyo makakalbang po ang lahat ng pamilya. And yeah, ini-encourage po namin yung mga kababayan natin, wala akong problema yan, please inform your congressmen, ang aming pong komite, and we will coordinate with the DFA and with DOLE para humatulungan kayo.
Your Honor, we just like to announce that for Qatar, July 17, those are PAL po yan. Those with existing tickets, that's July 17. July 19, PAL
Teka, ulit po, July,
17 po.
lahat po na may PAL ticket sa Qatar, July 17 po.
Opo.
Pwede kayong makauwi na.
Yes, sir. Those with existing tickets, July 19, that's a PAL chartered flight. Doon po sa mga, kasi po yung iba, kung
Ma'am,
hindi
ulit po July 17 o 19?
Sir, dalawa. Isa
Dalawa.
po. July 17, sir, PAL, those with existing tickets. And July 19, PAL chartered flight. Dito po yung walang tickets po talaga.
Okay, yung pong may ticket, July 17, yung wala pong ticket, July 19. DFA chartered flight po to.
Yes, sir. And we're working on another chartered flight by the end of the month, Your Honor.
And another chartered flight sa end of the month. So, meron po tayong 4,000 na mga kababayan dyan sa Qatar. Siguro ho, in 1 month, kakayanin natin lahat sila. In one flight po ba, ilan na nakakasakay?
Actually, Your Honor, that's 353, at least 350. Pagpal po, pagpal.
So more or less, meron po tayong 1,000 na mauuwi coming
Yes, sir.
from Qatar. So yung mga kababayan po nating nanonood at nakikinig, July 17, yung pong may mga ticket, makakauwi na po kayo. At meron pong chartered flight, DFA, July 19. Please coordinate with the embassy.
Yes, Your Honor. Or they could coordinate with us, OFW Help. That's the Facebook page of, the official Facebook page of the Department of Foreign Affairs here in the Philippines.
OFW Help, sa DFA po yan, para ho ma-coordinate kung ano man problema. Thank you so much, Yusek.
Sir, Your Honor, last po, yung sa Vietnam, final date na nila, na finalized with PAL a while ago, is July 25. So, they're definitely coming home by July 25, Your Honor. Kasi yun po yung pinayagan po ng Vietnam na makapasok po yung eroplano natin sa Vietnam. That's
Okay.
a Philippine Airlines, sir.
Pag-announce kanina ni Congressman Alvarado, Vice Chairman Alvarado dun sa Vietnam, may nag-message naman po sa atin. O yun po, yung mga nakikinig na taga-Vietnam, ngayon lang pumasok, July 25, meron na hong pinayagan ng Vietnam, makakauwi po kayo. Please coordinate with our embassy in Vietnam para humayayos yung lahat ng flight details. Please, yung mga kababayan po natin, pagsabihan nyo rin po yung inyong komunidad dyan para ma-coordinate yung inyong kasalukuyang sitwasyon at ang inyong pag-uwi sa July 25. Okay, are there questions from the floor or from Zoom sa ating mga kasama, our fellow congressmen? Because if not, then we will proceed with the Department of Health's presentation.
Mr. Chair,
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
our senior Deputy Minority Floor Leader, the Honorable Garin, is recognized.
yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Tatanong ko po sana ito sa OWA, ito po ay hinaing ng aking mga constituents. We just want this to be verified. Marami po kasi kami mga kababayan na umuwi, medyo pinarating nga sa opisina ko na yung iba, hindi po iba, no, halos lahat po sila, kinakailangang magpa-test pagkadating sa Manila. Well, we accept that and we welcome that. Kaya lang nagiging problema, pag uwi naman po sa probinsya, another test is required. Dumodoble po ang gastusin ng ating mga OFWs. And there are also varying prices insofar as testing is concerned. So are we giving our OFWs the option to choose which testing center can they have themselves tested? Or meron mo po bang agreement na sa airport, doon swab na at pagka sila nagpa-test ulit sa ibang laboratory, again magbabayad po sila ulit. Ano po ba ang status nito?
Before we proceed, Honorable Garin, can you hear us? Honorable Garin.
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Okay, Honorable Garin.
Malinaw na malinaw po kayo, Mr. Chair.
Opo. We now proceed to Administrator Kakdak. You're recognized.
Opo, salamat po sa tanong, Madam Congresswoman, Mr. Chair. Ang basic process po is swabbing upon arrival at the airport for all, not just OFWs but arriving overseas Filipinos. And then, ito pong halaga ng testing ay hindi na ho natin isinasaalang-alang kasi salamat po sa PhilHealth ay sinasagot po ng PhilHealth yung testing dito sa airport. Really just to describe the process, hintay ng PCR sa IAT proseso, in about the same time, 3 to 4 days, ay lumalabas ang resulta at naidadala na po natin. In the case of your constituents, Madam Congresswoman, naidadala na po natin ang mga constituents ninyo sa NAIA 2. And on the same day, usually panggabi po yung ating mga sweeper flights, charter flights, ay naidadala na po sila sa Region 6, sa Iloilo, sa Negros Occidental. At ngayon po, ang nangyayari po ay the LGUs have the authority to conduct their own medical protocols upon arrival. And aaminin po namin, Madam Congresswoman, ang agam inyo sa proseso namin. Kasi ho, ang nangyayari, ang swab testing, LGUs, and some cases, hindi naman po lahat, ay after the ngayon, ang tanong, sino ho nagbabayad dun sa swab testing at saka sa 14-day quarantine period? Dun sa 14-day quarantine period in hotels, OWA din po ang sumasagot in some cases, not all, in fairness to most LGUs. But in some cases, like in Iloilo, in Bacolod, tayo pa rin po sa OWA ang nag-shoulder ng quarantine stay in hotel facilities identified in Bacolod or in Iloilo. Doon naman po sa swab testing, mixed po. Merong cases na merong sinasagot ng LGUs, merong cases na tila pinasasagot po sa OFWs at meron din po cases na sinasagot ng OWA. But rest assured, Madam Congresswoman, ready po tayong tumulong sa swab testing ng mga OFWs natin, pero sa ganang amin po, that's sort of beside the point. Kasi sa tingin po namin, wala po dapat na swab testing that will happen in the first place. Kasi na-swab test na po sila, ma'am, dito sa Metro Manila.
Maraming salamat po, no? Although putol-putol yung narinig kong sagot mo, klaruhin ko lang po. Unang-una po, nasabi niyo po, sir, na the cost does not matter. For us kasi it matters eh. Kasi kung mataas ang po, madi-deplete rin ang PhilHealth. Hindi po kasi bottomless ang PhilHealth. Pangalawa, the OFW should be given an option to choose kung saan silang testing laboratory pwede. Kasi kung kunyari, before sila dumating, kailangan magpa-book or kailangan nilang magpa-test. Tapos ang bayad, ipagpalagay natin 5,000 ba, 4,000 ba, 3,000 ba. Pero marami po kasing testing centers who are only asking for a testing fee of 1,700, minsan 1,500, minsan 1,800. Tama po yun. Libre po yung sinasabi, pero marami pa rin po talaga ang sinisingil. At sinasabi na i-reimburse na lang. Doon naman po sa iba, if their manning agency pays for it, nangyayari naman po kasi doon, sir, is salary deduction din yun. So, at the end of the day, it is still passed on for overseas workers. So, mas maganda rin po siguro kung mabigyang tugon ang presyo ng PCR test. Kasi, double jeopardy dahil nawalan na nga ng trabaho, maghahanap pa sila ng pambayad ng PCR test. And even despite the fact that it is being said it's charged to PhilHealth, many testing centers are not considering that. Kaya nga po, yung iba, kailangan mong magbayad in advance. Yung iba naman, kailangan mong magpabayad sa iba. But I believe this is not only for OFW, sir. Sa pagkakaintindi ko, maski yung returning residents or returning balikbayans or returning students are also required to pay a testing fee at the airport. Kaya hindi lang po ito OWA concern. Pero pagkalabas naman po nila, if they're going to another hospital or another clinic or another institution, nagbabayad din po ulit. So I hope this system can be corrected para naman po, so that we can bring down the cost of testing. That's number one. Number two, so that results will also be faster. Because many laboratories does not have, the capacity is not being utilized. Yung iba naman, na ma-maximize na yung capacity nila. Well, basically, ang punto natin dito, PCR testing should be affordable, available, and results should be within 24 to 48 hours because it makes a lot of difference. And we cannot just solely rely on PhilHealth. Dapat iniingatan din po natin yung PhilHealth dahil pagka mataas po ang cost ng testing at mataas ang ating nire-refund sa PhilHealth, nawawalan po tayo ng ating budget for other public health illnesses. Kasi sa dami po ng step ngayon, hindi lang po COVID ang inaasikaso ng PhilHealth. At sa pagkakaintindi natin, hirap na po sila dun sa kanilang pondo.
Admin Kakdak.
This is a matter, yung costing po, which we could refer to our task group on returning Filipinos. It's a little bit beyond our scope sa OWA. As I said po, yung Suriname kanilang and welfare ay released out of the airport, but we know for sure na yung task namin sa IATF very well discussed this matter on the costs ng swab tests, but rest assured po, as far as we know, hindi po nagbabayad ng OFWs. We make sure that they get the results on time sa IATF automated system po yan, that they get direct emails of the test results. And as I said, on average, 3 to 4 days. Meron hong 2 days, as early as 2 days nakukuha. And we bring them home. We bring them straight to the airport and home within a day from the time they know about the test results. Now, dun sa costing po, ma'am, we could very well take this up in our task group at the IATF, ma'am, and note the concerns po with regard to costing.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. At yung iba naman po, kung sinasabi niyo po naman na within 24 hours, dumidiretso na sila sa probinsya. Kung dumidiretso po sila sa probinsya, baka naman pwede pong doon na sila i-test. First, we will decongest Metro Manila. Second, we will not be repeating the test. Kasi nga po, yung experience na ibang LGU, hindi ganyan sila dito pagdating nagpo-positibo sa probinsya. If they're being tested in the province, then why don't we adjust it na yung mga probinsyang may testing centers, doon na sila i-test. That way, we limit the expenses on having them quarantined here in Manila, in Metro Manila, and at the same time, we avoid testing them again for PCR testing. So we don't eat up the capacity kung saan marami naman pong iba ang nangangailangan rin na test. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Honorable Garin. Ito pong DOH nandito rin po sa atin. Maybe we can hear from them when they present as regards the testing, as you mentioned. But I agree with you, the Honorable Garin, on your suggestion. And if there are no more questions, the Honorable Garin and the others.
Mr. Chair, if I may, relating to the OWA.
Ay, opo, opo. I'm sorry. Ma'am Garin, okay na po kayo, no?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that, Honorable Garin, and we will take note of that when we go to the DOH discussion. We now proceed to the Honorable Ebcas. Honorable Ebcas is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon to my colleagues and to all the source person. This is only a comment. I think that the OWA program, Balik Pinas, Balik Hanap Buhay, should coordinate with the Balik Probinsya program. It is without a doubt that most of our country's economic growth is based in Metro Manila. However, the facts highlights that there are more opportunities in the provinces. Also, with the 20,000 assistance given to the OFW under this program, it is ideal to form such businesses in the provinces where the cost of materials and labor is substantially lower compared to the national capital region.
OWA?
Opo sir, we will take that suggestion po seriously. Right now po we are discussing the matter with our partner agencies such as DTI and Department of Agriculture. Also the DILG in terms of some opportunities offered by LGUs with respect to the prospects, business prospects sa mga regions po. But we agree with you, sir, that our livelihood program should be geared toward the best possible business or livelihood opportunities for our returning OFWs para po masiguro natin na ang pera gamitin sa pagpondo o di kaya panimulang negosyo, puhunan para sa panimulang negosyo o di kaya pandagdag puhunan sa mga negosyo na umaandar na. So, salamat po sir sa suggestion.
Mr. Chair, yun lang tanong ko at saka salamat, Administrator.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ebcas. Sa ating po mga kasama, the Honorable Remulla, would you like to ask questions? Okay. Sa OWA lang po, Honorable Kakdak, kasi kanina po napag-usapan na namin ng DFA, medyo talagang dito sa mga ginagawa ng DFA na repatriation flights, naubos na rin po yung pondo. And I'm sure na sa sitwasyon nyo po ngayon, nagkakaroon na rin po kayo ng problema because you do not just handle and support the repatriation, but you are also handling the reintegration of our people. At pati ho yung pag-uwi na dito, pagdating sa airport, kung anong mga kailangang suporta, kayo din po ang nag-handle. Kamusta po, Administrator Kakdak, yung ating sitwasyon sa pondo na inyong pangangailangan para maalalayan ng ating mga OFWs?
Yes po sir, ang expenses po natin at this stage stands at 1.2 billion. That includes yung accommodation, food, and transport. Yung mga accommodated na po natin sa mga hotels is approaching the 40,000 mark. Yung mga naibilit na po natin sa hotel sa Metro Manila. Yun naman pong na-transport natin, pauwi natin sa mga probinsya ay umakyat na po sa 86,000 since May 15. 86,000 na po ang nakauwing OFW sa kanilang mga home regions, LGUs, probinsya. But we got a needed boost po. Laking pasasalamat po natin kasi si Secretary Bello sumulat kay Secretary Abisado maybe a month ago. And about 2 weeks ago, we got a needed boost. We got a 5 billion peso boost from the DBM attributed to our emergency repatriation fund, which is exactly the kind of fund that we need. Yan po yung 150 million fund na naubos na at the beginning of the year. So ngayon, kinargahan ng DBM ng 5 billion divided into 2 billion in the third quarter and 3 billion in the fourth quarter. At meron na po tayong financial plan na inihanay. Essentially, again, expectedly, iikot po sa food, accommodation, transport, gastusin natin. May instruction din po si Sec. Delio na maglaanan ng pondo para sa financial assistance sa mga naita-transport natin. Meron na rin pong kaukulang instruction patungkol sa cremation and funeral services. Kasi po kung baka nabatid nyo na rin po, noong July 10, nagkaroon po ng first ever mass repatriation of human remains ng OFWs na naipon po yung mga OFWs na namatay sa Saudi na kinakailangan ibalik dahil nagkaroon ng lockdown and limited government services doon. Kaya nagkaroon ng mass repatriation ng 49 caskets, 49 OFWs na namatay sa Saudi. Kaya meron pong pangalawang batch nitong linggo na dadating, mga halos 60 naman po yun. Kaya may karagdagan na tayong expense item which is yung tulong natin sa cremation at funeral ng mga funeral services ng mga nanunumbalik na OFWs na mga nasawi para sa kanilang mga pamilya. So, all told, we got a needed boost. Thank you to DBM. At magpapasalamat din si Sec. Delio dito sa naisagawa ng DBM, and we are slated po to engage yung mga different expenses at services po na kinakailangan ng OFWs until the end of 2020.
Thank you so much, Administrator Cantac. Katulad po nung kanina pinag-usapan kasi, kung may requirement man po sa pondo, pangangailangan, Congress is here. No? We will be discussing the Bayanihan to Heal Part 2, including the budget. Pwede hong magkatulungan dyan para malalayan yung ating mga OFWs. Particularly pagka nauwi po natin silang lahat, yung pong reintegration program. Ano yung pwede natin ibigay na tulong, credit facility to support our OFWs and their families.
Yes, sir. Sir, if I may add, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, if I may add, I need to thank the Congress as well, the Speaker, the Senate President, kasi talagang nag-all-out support po kayo na supportahan ang overseas employment services natin, whether it's OWA or DOLE or DFA. At nakita rin po yun na bibigyan ang kinakaukulang aksyon ng national government din para supportahan ng overseas employment programs po natin.
Thank you.
And
Salamat.
we are willing to submit po our program and budget for the integration.
Salamat, Administrator Cantac. Rest assured, we will be here to support whatever programs you have for the OFWs, no, para ma-reintegrate sila. Before we proceed to the presentation of TESDA, kung pwede pong makausap natin si General Manager Ed Monreal of CAAP. Do we have him on Zoom? CAAP General Manager Ed Monreal.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I'm not the general man from CAP, sir. I'm from MIA, sir.
I'm sorry, ano po ang...
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Ano pong, Mr. Monreal, ano pong posisyon nyo sa CAAP?
Wala, hindi po ako sa CAP, sa MIA po ako. I think somebody from CAP is representing CAP, sir.
Saan siya? MIAA. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, pasensya na po kayo. We would like to request CAAP, Mr. Monreal, but thank you for being here, MIAA. And I'm sure nakasuporta rin naman po kayo doon sa mga agencies na sumasalo dito sa ating mga OFWs. Can we have the representative of CAAP, please? Nandiyan po ba sa atin?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Members of the committee. My name is Attorney Roberto Benaventura, Head Executive Assistant for CAAP, representing CAAP today. Mr. Chair.
Attorney
Benaventura, sir.
Okay, Attorney Benaventura. Quick question lang po, kasi ang DFA nag-present dito sa amin. Ang program po natin by the end of the month we will be having, first let me thank you, kasi ito po mga flights natin from the time na nagkaroon ng hearing, 53 flights from UAE, 21 flights from Qatar, 42 flights from Saudi Arabia. Ang target po natin ngayon, 50,000 Filipinos by July. Opo. Ngayon, we have 117,000. Hopefully, we can finish all of this by August. Do you agree with the program, and do we have your commitment para po dito na maiuwi natin yung ating mga OFWs and that the flights will be allowed coming back or coming home to Manila?
Mr. Chair, as previously committed by our Deputy Director General during the last hearing, all of the DFA endorsed flights, sir, we are approving them. Lahat po ng applications na approve namin, and we also sought an increase with the ATF to increase the limit of passengers per day. So lahat naman po ng kailangan gawin is ginagawa po ng CAP para po ma-comply, ma-achieve po natin itong goal.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Benaventura. Ngayon po, meron kayong mga ibang airports kasi na hindi pinapayagan na maaari pong mapabilis yung ating pag-uwi. Meron po sa Iloilo International Airport, Lawag International Airport, Bacolod Silay Airport. Ito po yung malalaking nakikita kong Surigao Airport is also here. But anyway, Attorney Benaventura, bakit po yung ibang airports hindi pinapayagan? Kunyari po, I would assume, no? Sa norte, kung papayagan ang flight sa Tuguegarao, or let's say dito po sa Iloilo International Airport, Lawag International Airport for the north, baka mas madalian po kayo para sa pagpauwi ng ating mga OFWs.
All right, Mr. Chair. Sir, we would just like to manifest that since the start of the GCQ, actually even before that, all our airports are open and operational. What is limiting the operations now is the LGU prevailing policy on allowing commercial flights to these airports, sir. So as soon as these LGUs would permit the operation of commercial flights, ready naman po kami ang CAAP to cater to all these flights kung kailangan po, sir.
So the LGUs are the ones preventing the flights?
Basically, sir, because of their outstanding issuances on the limitations of movement of passengers and movement within the locality.
Okay. Pero, well, siguro naman po, kung ito'y, kunyari, chartered flight, assuming lang, kunyari, sa Lawag, isang eroplano pupunta na direkta dyan sa Lawag, it would be more convenient for our OFWs. But having said that, kayo na po rin na naman nagbanggit na LGUs, maybe just a matter of coordination. I'm sure kung malalaman din naman ng mga provincial governments na kababayan nila yung uuwi, in fact, it will even help Yusek Sara na sila na rin mag-provide nung center so that they can be quarantined and they can be tested. Mas madali hong ma-coordinate. Andun na rin yung kanilang pamilya. So, yun po. From our members of the committee in Zoom, do you have any questions sa atin po dito? Kung wala na, we will thank Attorney Benaventura. Salamat po, Attorney Benaventura. Please extend our thanks to CAAP for immediately responding to our request na makauwi yung ating mga OFWs. Rest assured, you will also have our support. Maraming salamat po, Attorney Benaventura. So with that, we now proceed to TESDA. TESDA, do you have a presentation?
Yes, Mr. Chair. We have a presentation. A pleasant good afternoon to the Honorable Chairman, Michael Defensor, and members of the Committee on Public Accounts, as well as to my fellow colleagues in the government and all the resource persons who are present in this meeting. On behalf of our Director General, Secretary Isidro La Peña, I would like to thank you for inviting us at this particular public hearing to share with you our programs and services in relation to our OFWs. Next slide. Honorable Chair and committee members, we would like to emphasize the crucial role of TVET in economic recovery and progress. Our OFWs are our strongest and most important resource. The displaced and affected workers need to be upskilled and reskilled. We are also pleased to inform this committee that TESDA has been implementing various interventions for our OFWs in coordination with other government agencies, particularly DOLE, OWA, and POEA. The OFWs, especially the returning OFWs, is one of the TESDA's priority clientele, including, of course, our displaced workers. We have, of course, the number one of our array of programs are the scholarship programs, both overseas scholarship programs. We offer it on-site. Meron kami tinatawag na on-site scholarship programs. Ito po ay ginagawa namin in collaboration with Apollos, which also implements with us the overseas scholarship program that provides free training and competency assessment to our overseas Filipino workers. We also provide them free assessment fees, and they can take their competency assessment in their place of work, and it is being paid for by TESDA. The assessment is being done in accredited overseas assessment centers in partnership with Apollos. The TESDA online program has long been implementing, TESDA has long been implementing the TOP or the TESDA online program, which can be accessed by interested individuals. Being in existence since May 2012, the utilization of the TESDA online program was intensified to make Filipino citizens abroad more productive during their lull hours, or even so with this pandemic. Currently, the TOP offers a total of 70 online courses available at eTESDA Learning Portal, where they can access courses on agriculture, automotive, electronics, entrepreneurship, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration, human health, care, information and communication technology, lifelong learning skills, maritime, social, community development, and other services. We have also programs on trainer methodology and tourism. On-site assessment programs, also one of the notable program of the agency, is extending its services for free assessment and certification. In 2019, a total of 2,315 OFWs were assessed at 85.40 certification rate. This translated to 1,977 OFWs certified from Hong Kong, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, Singapore, and United Arab Emirates. We also have our OFW help desk. We created this in conjunction with our TESDA order number 149 series of 2018. 5 international airports, namely NAIA Terminals 1 and 3, Clark International Airport, Mactan International Airport, and Davao Francisco Bacoy International Airports, have put up previously TESDA OFW Help Desk. This was established on April 2018 to assist our returning OFWs. These OFWs help desk attend to queries mostly on competency assessment, certification, authentication, and verification of national certificates, and of course scholarship programs. As of 31 May 2020, a total of 3,116 OFWs were given government assistance specifically on scholarship, followed by TESDA OFW desk and other services. These programs and services extended, of course, to our OFWs. Next, TESDA, under the direction of the Director General Secretary Isidro La Peña, also pushes for other reforms and programs for our OFWs, especially those repatriated and returning to the country. TESDA provided training programs to repatriated OFWs through the efforts of the regional and provincial offices. In order to facilitate the registration of the returning OFWs, TESDA had launched the TESDA Abot Lahat ng OFWs app. Interested OFWs who want to avail of TESDA programs can register online through a mobile application. Through the TESDA app, which can be uploaded on both Google Play Store and App Store for free, the OFWs can be able to register online. The online registration form captures basic information of the OFWs, such as their personal and professional information, their location in their return to the Philippines, and the skills training they need. The TESDA field offices coordinates with the returning OFWs who registered through this application. We are also pursuing at TESDA the profiling of the OFWs in coordination with OWA to determine their skills and experiences. We are exploring the possibility of tapping these OFWs as trainers, assessors, and experts in various TVET programs. They could bring in new expertise, new technologies, as we provide alternative employment locally and in a way an opportunity for our country's brain gain. Kaalaman, which is knowledge. This is, of course, OFWs are being tapped as trainers and assessors, which is linked to a reintegration program for OFWs. Kakayahan or skills capacity building. OFWs as technical earth experts. TESDA to tap returning and retiring OFWs in the development of competency standards for new and emerging and advanced technology. Kabuhayan or livelihood, OFWs as urban farmers. TESDA to provide free agri-training to OFWs in partnership with DOTR, PNR, local government units for the use of land and buyer of produce from the program. These programs and services extended to OFWs illustrates how the convergence among Philippine government agencies comes at the best time. Honorable Chair and members of the Committee of Public Accounts, this is in brief our TESDA response and way forward beyond COVID-19 as we transition to the new normal. Thank you.
Thank you, TESDA. Deputy, Director Urdaneta, one question. Meron po ba kayong training for contract tracing para po dun sa ating mga kababayan, hindi lang po sa OFWs pero sa lahat? Kasi isa yan sa mga mabigat na ating kailangan isagawa sa ngayon. Tumataas po talaga yung COVID. Do you have that program, contract tracing?
Sir, we're developing our curriculum to date with the Department of Health. We are in partnership with them. We are still developing the curriculum, but we shall be implementing this program as soon as we develop the curriculum.
Kailan po ninyo matatapos to, ma'am?
Sir, within this month.
Sige po, can we expect that program to be launched in 2 weeks?
Yes, Sec. Yes, Kong. Apa.
Maraming salamat, Director. I think that's one critical program that we need to push para matulungan yung ating mga kababayan, hindi lang po sa ating mga OFWs. Maraming salamat,
Mr.
Director
Chair.
Doneta. I'm sorry. The Honorable Alvarado is recognized.
Mr. Chair, meron lang po akong nag-iisang katanungan sa OWA, ay sa TESDA. Yung po bang mga programang nabanggit ng TESDA, kasama po ba pati yung mga kababayan natin na OFW na visit visa lamang yung hawak, Mr. Chair?
Congressman Alvarado, wala po kaming pinipili actually because of yung inclusiveness ng aming programa. In fact, ang talaga pong pinupunto ng aming sekretarya ay TESDA abot lahat. So, pati po yun kasama.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, TESDA.
Maraming salamat, Director Buenaventura.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Yes, Honorable Garin, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang hapon din po sa ating TESDA family. Ang ipaparating ko lang po ito, Mr. Chair, kasi sa dami po ng magagandang programa ng TESDA, ang napapansin ko po, meron po kasing sila dinidikta na mga kurso, lalo na sa mga probinsya. And almost always our problem is this is not actually aligned to the people being hired by companies. Ang kagaya po nung aming panawagan na sana po magkaroon ng training on PCO. PCO is actually Pollution Control Officer, and the Honorable Chairman, former Secretary of Environment, si atin pong butihing Congressman Mike Defensor, alam niya po that this is actually a mandatory requirement of many companies. And we look at it as an opportunity. Ang dami po kasing nangangailangan noon, pero hanggang ngayon hindi po napupunuan. And I have conveyed this concern to TESDA, which until now has not been acted upon. Marami po kasi tayong OFWs na umuwi ng Pilipinas, na dala-dala nila yung kanilang experience from abroad. So while working, syempre ibang sweldo sa labas, ibang sweldo sa Pilipinas. But if they are concurrently trained to act as pollution control officers, ang mahal po kasi, I think the cost for training is somewhere around 15,000 per trainee. At kaya po hindi nakakapag-train yung karamihan dahil hindi po nila ma-afford. Minsan po umaabot po ng 20,000, lalo na po kapag live-in, stay-in yung training. So with this pandemic, and because it's actually a requirement and many companies are actually looking for it, sana po mabigyan tugon ito ng TESDA. Pangalawa po, Mr. Chair, marami pong mga security guards ang na-hire na nahihirapan I think it's the next step. Parang there are 2 trainings on security services, 2 or 3. Meron po mga natitrain sa una, hindi na po nakakapagpa-train sa pangalawa dahil po hindi na nila kaya. And in this time of pandemic na marami silang kamag-anak na umuwi, mas lalong kailangan nila na yung pondo nila, yung sweldo nila, ipahiram o itulong sa kanilang kamag-anak. Panawagan ko ito paulit-ulit, hindi lang po dun sa aking distrito, but I hear this from a lot of colleagues. Ang problema lang po, pagka may pondo ang TESDA, either walang service provider or kung meron mang service provider, the usual answer of TESDA to us, hindi pwede yung pondo. Parang ito lang ang pwede. Karamihan po mga food processing, yung kung merong mga ready na kit. The problem there is, napapatrain yung iba para lang makuha yung lutuan, yung steamer, yung mga gamit. But when it comes to provision of livelihood, hindi po talaga siya pang long term. So maybe we can request TESDA to do away with all these practices that our constituents are being made captive to selected courses. At ang palagi po kasing sagot sa amin, meron na po kasi itong kit available sa central office, so we have to use this training. Mas maganda po kasi na if we focus on the need rather than the want, then TESDA training will have a bigger impact on our public.
TESDA is recognized.
Yes.
TESDA, go ahead.
Okay, thank you po. Congresswoman Garin, thank you for providing us with that particular information. We'll coordinate directly with our regional director on this pollution control officer. Maraming salamat po because we're now also trying to come up with programs like waste management sa garbage collection. This one will also provide us with new program offerings, and we'll try to coordinate also with DENR on the possibility of partnering with them in coming up with competency standard as well as curriculum. Yun naman po sa mga siguro po yung binanggit nyo, yung tungkol sa mga toolkit sa STEP, kasi meron po mga nangyari noon na meron po kami mga, when I was still a regional director in Region 7, I'm not saying it happened in Region 6 po. May mga, kasi pag pumupunta po kami sa mga congresspersons noon po, nahihirapan po kami talaga to identify the programs. So, ang mga nangyayari po is yung mga previous na lang na mga programa yung ibinibigay namin. But rest assured, at this point po, lalo na sa mga experiences natin ngayon, talaga pong we're trying very hard. Tama po yung sinasabi nyo na talagang needs-based po at saka kung ano po yung requirement dapat ng region, area-based, so that we would really assure the mga opportunities para po sa mga tao at hindi lang po masayang ang training at hindi lang yung basta lang makapag-training ang TESDA tapos na. Ngayon, ang sinasabi po namin, it has to really provide the person livelihood as well as employment opportunities. Thank you for that particular comment po, and we'll take note of that in our future policies and program implementation.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi masyado pong nagiging restrictive. In fact, even in my district, came to a point last year that I had to turn down the training. Kaya sayang din yung allocation kasi may binibigay na allocation pero pinipilit pa rin kami dun sa food processing or merong courses na talagang hindi naman nagagamit na. I mean, it can be, ang magagamit lang talaga nila yon yung binibigay na toolkit, yun yung hinahabol. Pero aside from that, walang long term eh. But if we talk about like training on becoming security guard, training on becoming pollution control officers. Let's say kung agriculture yung pag-uusapan, at least man lang meron silang mapupuntahan na lupa or meron silang, there are like farms or corporate farmers that we can refer them to. No? Kasi kung tuturuan lang natin sila na basics of agriculture and then we just give them a toolkit and that's it, hindi po talaga nila nagagamit. No? Lalo na kapag isa pa rin po doon, ang layo po minsan ng training center nyo, and it defeats the purpose of training them because you have to choose people in the city who are actually not really into farming. So there's really a lot of mismatch, and I know that these challenges, once addressed, will actually make TESDA a really an opportunity for everybody to work. So baka po pwedeng matingnan yun, mauna nyo, andun yung contact tracers, even actually, Mr. Chair, even people manning the quarantine centers, because we don't know if this will still take long. So if we have, even our barangay health workers, allowance lang naman po kasi sila, if we are going to train them to handle quarantine centers, then magkakaroon sila ng hanap buhay.
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, those are the three factors. Security guard officers, security officers, pollution control officers, and then we have those related to pandemic response.
Yes, ma'am. We'll take note of that, and we're now trying also to propagate the barangay health services na mga programs namin for us to be able to really multiply yung mga barangay health workers in the barangay. Salamat po, and that is well noted.
Ma'am, sorry, dagdag ko lang po pala. With the impact of pandemic and under the new normal, marami pa po kasi tayong kababayan, especially in the provinces, na gusto rin man nilang matuto ng mga online orders, online business, online procurement, merong mga beat cards. Marami pa rin po kasi sa probinsya ang hindi ganun kabisado yung IT, simply because it's all theory and they don't have the actual opportunity to touch a computer or to learn IT. So maybe you can have like a refresher course for our senior citizens, or let's say a refresher course on IT for our 50 years old and above, or 60 and above, or 70 and above. Because at this point of time, we have to loop in everybody to what the technology calls for, because it is part of the new normal. And chances are, even after the pandemic, that will be the new way of life.
Tama
So
po
TESDA
kayo.
can actually prepare them.
Yes, kasi we also have this in what we call the 21st century skills, and what you're talking about is part of that. Opo, isasama po namin yan in the future school offerings of TESDA.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am. No? So that mas marami pa po ang makatake advantage ng online selling, work from home, even the drivers, they're now shifting into IT. Even the people you have trained for yung bilot, ang
Yes.
dami po sa kanilang kailangan bigyan ng basic inputs on technology. Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat din po.
Thank you so much, Honorable
Thank you
Green.
po.
Thank you so much, Director Benaventura of TESDA. Andito po sa atin si
I'm Director Urdaneta.
I'm sorry, Director Urdaneta of TESDA. Maraming salamat, Director. We have here the Department of Health. Kanina may tinatanong si Congresswoman Garing, and I think it's very critical. We share her sentiment regarding dun po sa testing. Director Salcedo, if I'm not mistaken, of the Bureau of Quarantine is here. Ito po bang mga OFW po natin, pinagbabayad ba ho natin pagka sila'y umuwi, nagkakaroon ng test? Director Salcedo, DOH, please respond. Department of Health.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning po. I'm Dr. De La Rina in behalf of the Director Sarcedo. Can I answer the question po?
Go ahead.
Sa ngayon po, sir, all the testing done in the airports are under PhilHealth po.
So wala pong binabayaran ng ating mga OFWs?
Ang pagkakaalam po ay wala po dahil po sagot po sila ng universal healthcare po.
Magkano po ba ang bayad pagka po binabayaran sila ng universal healthcare under PhilHealth? Yung pa rin po bang dati nating fee na 4,000?
Naglabas na po ng panibagong rate po ang PhilHealth sa pagkakaalam ko po. Binaba na po nila sa 3,400 po sa pagkakaing mga laboratories. Dati po ay iilan lang po yung nagko-conduct po ng test. Ang nangyayari po talaga nung mga nakaraang buwan at mga nakaraang linggo po, overwhelmed po talaga yung ating testing sa airport. At ngayon nga po nagkaroon ng initiative po na magpapasok na po ng mga third party sa ating mga paliparan para po yung mga arriving OFWs po ay mapabilis po yung kanilang pagkuha ng result. May mga laboratories po na nag-o-offer po ng second swabbing pag nasa facilities na po yung mga OFWs, yung mga OFs po. Yun po yung mga kinukuha ng mga nasa quarantine facilities na po, yung mga naiinip na po, yung mga nagmamadali pong kumuha ng kanilang result. Sila po yung nag-initiate po na magpa-swab po ulit para lang po mapabilis. Kasi may mga ibang laboratories po na nag-o-offer ng 1 day, makukuha na po yung resulta. 2 days, makukuha na po yung resulta. At hindi po namin ini-discourage, pero dahil nga po gusto nga po nilang mapabilis po yung kanilang pagtuloy po.
If this is the case, no, hindi po ba mas nararapat that we give everybody a choice? No, kunyari, part na ng agreement nyo is you lay down all the laboratories and then gaano katagal yung resulta, magkano yung presyo. Para po, so that's why, because when there's competition, prices will go down. Okay lang po sana kung yung mga negosyante yung dumarating. Pero yung pong ating mga returning residents, yung ating mga balikbayan, o yung mga Pilipino abroad na nawalan ng trabaho, o yung ating mga OFW, o yung may mga namatayan ng kamag-anak, or hindi na sila Filipino citizen, pero at Filipino descent, nawalan ng trabaho abroad, babalik na ngayon sa pamilya nila dito. Hindi po kasi, I hope you won't mind, sir, no? I cannot link and frame the reason behind the fact na magpapatest sila ulit dahil gusto nilang magmadaling makauwi kung maganda po ang sistema natin ng testing. So siguro like it can be done, pwede naman po yung swabbing sa airport, pero kung ito-swab doon, pagkatapos matagal ang resulta, then why don't, upon arrival sa airport, they can proceed to their clinics of choice before going to the quarantine center. Para po mas mabilis and then mas magiging mura po siya.
Opo. Pag-aaralan po yan po, i-open ko po yan po sa meeting po ng one-stop shop po. Pero sa ngayon po, ang paniniwala ko po in-open na po nila sa mga third-party laboratory yung swabbing po sa airport. Gaya po ng sabi niyo po, tama po yun na mas maganda po na mas marami po yung nag-conduct po ng testing sa point of entries natin para po mapa-open yung market at mapabilis po yung pagpaprocess po ng RT-PCR po.
Because if you're doing the reservations online, you can also give a long list of choice. No? Mga laboratories, magkano yung presyo, kailan lalabas yung resulta, para naman po na mas mabilis tayo kung masyadong marami at hindi na kaya ng 1, 2, or 3 institutions, then you spread it. Ang importante po kasi dito, hindi sila nagtatagal sa Manila kung kailan nila umuwi ng probinsya at hindi po tumataas ang gastusin nila. Now, be that as it may, Mr. Chair, allow me to gently request the concerned agencies to look into the mechanism. Bakit po ba kailangan i-test sa Manila kung pagdating dun sa ibang probinsya, i-test pa rin ulit? And then why don't we just let them go direct kasi may airports naman tayo sa mga probinsya? Why don't we let them go direct to those airports, have them swabbed and immediately quarantined in those areas? Kasi nagkakaroon patuloy ng second exposure and the quarantine centers are turning out to be petri dishes for 2 major reasons. Pag matagal po lumabas ang resulta, talagang magiging petri dish ang quarantine center. Pangalawa naman po, malaki po masyado yung gastusin kasi marami naman po yung gumagastos, lalo na pagka they have to get a hotel. At may kaya ko man, middle class ka man, lalo na kung mahirap ka sa panahon ito kasi lahat tayo talagang naghihirap at lahat nangangailangan magtipid.
Thank you, Honorable Garin. Doon po sa inyong suggestion, we would like to request the Department of Health to look into that, no? Yung protocols po natin, Yusek, Sarah, if you can also help us with that. Yung binabanggit ni, kasi kanina po nakat kami, hindi ho namin masyadong narinig na pag-usapan, but basically what Congresswoman Garin is saying is that why do we have test in Manila and then pagdating sa probinsya, test ulit? Kawawa naman po, doble-doble. Number 2, please look into this, DOH. Kung marami man choices, I have no problem with that. Kung meron kayong Red Cross, kung meron kayong mga ibang private entities, walang problema. Pero wag pagbabayarin ang ating mga OFWs. They should not be made to pay the testing, which is the complaint that we are getting from our OFW. So DOH, please relay it to the DOH family and also to PhilHealth. Si Yusek Sarho is still here and she takes note of our suggestion. May katanungan po ba sa ating mga kasama? Okay, kung wala na po, we have the Department of Trade and Industry para po dito sa ating presentation for ito naman po yung mga business, mga tulong nila pagka nandito. But if we may request, unless there are questions, if we may request the agencies, yung DTI, just to submit to us the report para makita namin to at mabasa namin. And of course, dun sa binanggit ni Speaker Alan Cayetano, parang mas maganda magkaroon tayo ng upuan with all the other agencies involved with our OFWs. So we will have a whole approach, yung pong kabuuang pagre-resolba ng mga problema ng ating mga OFWs, pag-uwi dito sa ating bansa, at maging dun sa kanilang pagbalik sa probinsya at sa kanilang pamilya, at kung anumang negosyo o trabaho ang maitutulong natin para naman may kabuhayan ng ating mga OFWs. I would like to request our members of the committee, if there are questions. I see the Honorable Pineda, kung wala na pong tanong. Sa iba po mga kasamahan natin na nandito, Congressman De Los Santos, Congressman Fortun. If there are no more questions.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Vice Chair Alvarado.
Kung wala na po tayong kasamang magtatanong, ay pinapasalamatan na lamang po natin ang ating mga invited guests at mga members na umattend sa pagdinig na ito. Maraming salamat po at napakalapit po ng puso ninyo sa lahat ng OFW. At humihingi na rin po ako ng paumanhin sa daming sulat ko pong na ibibigay po sa mga agency ninyo. Iyan naman po ay mga comment at nilalapit po na pagtulong ng ating mga kababayan na OFW. Karamihan nga po hindi naman sa distrito ko, karamihan po ay sa mga ibang distrito. Pero lahat naman po ay kapatid natin, basta Pilipino, kailangan po natin tulungan. At kinukuha ko rin po ang pagkakataon na magpasalamat kay Speaker Alan Cayetano sa kanya pong pagmamahal sa ating mga kapatid na OFW at sa kay Pangulong Duterte sa kanyang pamahalaan na talaga namang ginagawa ang lahat para po sa ating mga kababayan. Alam ko po na marami na tayong mapapauwi, ngunit marami pa rin naiinip sa ibang mga bansa, lalong-lalo na yung mga stranded natin na kapatid na OFW. Sana po ay mas mabilis pa nating magawa ito. At yung sinabi po ni Yusek Ariola na 100,000 within this month ay sana po ay maging makatotohanan po, Mr. Chair. At yun lang po. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, DFA. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Alvarado. I recognize the Honorable Pineda. I see him. Honorable Pineda, would you like to say anything? Ito po yung isa rin sa mga kasamahan natin na nakatutok sa mga OFWs. Congressman Pineda.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chairman. No, my only concern is there are still a lot of our OFW workers, especially in Dubai, that are still on forced leave of absence. So they are now requesting, or not, more of talagang medyo, they're panicking already because most of them have been on forced leave for more than 2 months. So, I mean, they don't have no means of income, and most of our OFW there are unregistered. So, meaning to say, they went to Dubai as tourists, they applied for a job, so they get a job. Ang problema po, ngayon, karamihan po sila on forced leave, or most of them are receiving only 30% salary. So, talagang ang situation po nila is medyo masama na din dahil, you know, most of these OFWs are renting expensive flats, pero marami sila, siguro mga 8. But it's very expensive for them to maintain it, and parang they have already received the dole-out from OWA, which is about $200, or I don't know how much in their money. But anyway, ang problema po, humihingi po sila ng tulong ngayon dahil talagang kapos po sila, at hindi na po nila alam kung saan po sila lalapit dahil wala ko silang pambayad po ng kanilang apartment, wala ko silang pambili po ng pagkain nila habang naka-forced leave of absence sila dahil talagang hindi ko sila tinutulungan ng kanilang pong employer. That question is to Admin Kakdak.
Admin Kakdak is recognized.
Sir, yun pong assistance na maibibigay natin bilang pagtawid bago po sila makauwi. Gayong nakatanggap na sila nung initial na tinatawag natin Dole ACAP Financial Assistance for displaced OFWs ay in the form of food assistance. At sa Dubai po ay meron tayong food assistance program. Alam ko po na, at alam din naman po ng ating butihing congressman na marami pang kailangan matulungan sa food assistance program. Kaya't patuloy lang po yung efforts natin sa pagbibigay ng food packs sa Dubai. Just last week, nag-replenish tayo ng pondo ng mga polos po natin. Nagbigay tayo ng karagdagang pondo para ma-boost yung kanilang food assistance program efforts. And then, yung pong pagpapauwi naman po nila, we are working closely with the DFA patungkol sa aspeto ng kanilang pagpapauwi. Of course, pagdating nila dito sa Pilipinas, ay mas madali po tayong makapagbigay ng direktsahan tulong sa kanila. Kaya't sa tingin ko po ay may nakaabang na rin mga programa naman sa kanila pagdating nila. Kaya't sa tingin ko po ay ang objective talaga po natin na ay maitawid sila until sila ay makauwi.
Thank you. Mr. Chair,
Yes.
can we ask from Admin Kakdak, sino po ang kakausapin doon for the food assistance program? Wala po kasi silang alam tungkol po dito.
Opo sir, yung Philippine Labor Office, Overseas Labor Office, headed by our labor attaché. Her name is Felicitas Bay. And then meron din po tayong OWA Welfare Officer po doon, si Melvin Caseda. And of course, we are all under a one country team approach. Meron din tayong konsulada doon ng ating butihing content doon, si Conjen
Alvin, if you
Cortez.
can just forward to me the number, you know naman may Viber number, di ba? So I can forward it
Yes,
to them
sir, yes.
in contact person regarding the food assistance program po natin. But for them to receive another dole out, is that still possible o wala na pong possibility po yun?
Sir, that is still a possibility, sir. Lalo na kung merong padating na legislation na Part 2 po galing po sa inyo, sa Kongreso, sir. So that remains a possibility, sir. Pero aminin ko po, sir, at this stage, we are still in the process of helping the first-time applicants para masiguro po natin na mas marami tayong matulungan. But the short answer is yes, sir. We can of course propose or recommend to our good secretary na magkaroon ng second round.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, one more concern. As I mentioned before, the funds coming from OWA and DOLE for the livelihood program of our returning migrant workers, we feel it's not really enough for them to put up a viable livelihood program kasi ang pera lang po ng OWA is 20,000 pesos. And yung programa naman po ng DOLE is tied up with, if I am correct, it's tied up with Land Bank. But that requires certain documents and also guarantees. So ang sabi naman po ni Secretary Bello is that if the DOLE can guarantee, why not? Ang gusto ko lang po sana iparating, Mr. Chairman, is if we can request the DTI through its SB Corporation, which is the one spearheading the providing of loans for micro, small, and medium industry, na mabigyan po ng priority po itong ating mga OFW na bumalik po dito at wala na pong balak na magpa-deploy ulit sa abroad at gusto na mag-livelihood. Kasi po dun sa SB Corp, they can get 100,000 without collateral. So kung pwede lang natin mapag-usapan si Secretary Lopez na mabigyan lang po ng priority yung ating mga OFW sa mga nag-apply, dahil I think that's the least that we can do for these people na talagang malaki pong sakripisyon ginawa nila sa ating bansa at tayo naman po ngayon ay suklihan po natin ginawa nila para natin. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Pineda, for that. And of course, yung pong coordination nyo, we will also await that kasi marami rin po mga kababayan natin ang nakabantay dyan. At marami tumatawag individually sa ating pong mga OFW sa kanilang mga representante. So, if there are no more questions,
Mr. Chair,
yes, Honorable Alvarado.
motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that. Before we end, let me just
Second
quickly... Do we hear anyone else?
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. On behalf of, well, first let me summarize our agreements. Number 1, doon po sa Qatar, July 17, yung may mga tickets, yung walang tickets, July 19. Sa Vietnam, July 25 po, meron pong lilipad na eroplano pa uwi sa atin. Ma'am, meron pa mga nagme-message from Jordan. Hindi pa rin ho nila land. So, ang sabi po sa atin ng DFA, we still have 117,000. But since the time we started the hearing, we were able to fly more than 50,000 OFWs. Sana po matapos natin ito kaagad, and we would like to thank DFA for their help, DOLE for their support, OWA of course. Dire-diretso po tayong lahat sa pagtulong sa ating mga kababayan. Meron po silang hotline, OFW Help. And of course, you can message your particular representatives. Pwede yung parating sa amin, and we can also help coordinate it with DFA and the other agencies concerned. Pangalawa, doon po sa testing, malinaw po ang agreement, huwag kayong magbayad. Pag pinagbabayad po kayo, sabihin nyo po kagad sa amin and we will support and assist you. Hindi na po kailangan kayong magbayad sa inyong pagte-testing. In the next hearing, we will have DTI present yung kanila pong reintegration program. Kasi kanina po, nakita natin ng TESDA. Of course, the DTI will make their own presentation. So, on behalf of our members, first, we would like to thank our resource person here in plenary, Under Secretary Sara Ariola. Maraming salamat sa inyo. We would like to thank, of course, DOLE and DOH. Nagsalita rin po sila kanina. Our Administrator of OWA, Administrator Kakdak, thank you for all your assistance to our OFWs. Tuloy-tuloy lang po, laban lang po tayong lahat sa trabaho. And Speaker Alan Cayetano, on behalf of Speaker Alan Cayetano, our majority leader is here in plenary, Majority Leader Martin Romualdez. Kanina po yan nandito and nakamonitor po yan. Our Senior Deputy Majority Floor Leader, Boying Remulla, is here. Our Chairman of the Committee of Good Government, our Vice Chairman, Jonathan Alvarado. Ang mga kasama po natin, Api de los Santos, Congressman Fortun, Congressman Paduano, Congressman Nagano, Congressman Ilago, Congressman Pineda, Congressman Padiernos, Congressman Garin, Congressman Sabellano, Congressman Gonzales, and Congressman Barbers. Sa lahat po, hindi pa rin po tayo tapos. We will continue monitoring and of course, we will continue helping our OFWs. Yung pag-uwi, iba pa ho yun. Kailangan po matulungan natin sila na magkaroon naman kahit papano ng kabuhayan dito sa ating bansa. So on behalf of the Committee on Public Accounts, we would like to thank again DFA and all our resource persons and our members of the committee. With that motion, this meeting is adjourned.